Cool, thanks. Thanks, Roland. Good to be here. It's really interesting to hear about what you can do with AI. Is there anything we can do about Trump? Can we fix that situation? As you'll notice, I might be different from other speakers in a way I don't really work with AI, but that's why I think that events like these are so important, because it's a perfect opportunity to learn. So I'm here to learn about AI, and I'm here to ask questions. So specifically, I brought this question with me here. How can we make Stockholm a better place for AI and for the things that you're doing, for AI companies? So I don't work with AI, but it's my job to ask this question and to explore the answers. And I hope to do that with you. So to give you a background of why I'm asking this, I work for a company called Stockholm, and it's owned by the city of Stockholm. So we're one of the partners to this event today. And we do two things for the city. We do international marketing of the city, and we do what's called economic development, so development of the business scene. My focus is startups and tech. So that means I do international marketing of the startup scene in Stockholm. And we try to make Stockholm a better place for startups. That's why I was asking that question. So how can we make Stockholm a better place for tech entrepreneurs, these kind of questions? So that's what we do. And I thought I'd give you some specific examples of what we do. And then maybe in the back of our mind, we can think of how can we apply this to what you're doing and to this community. So if we start with marketing, what do we do there? Well, for marketing, we do a lot of PR. Journalists, we get a lot of questions about Stockholm. We provide statistics and data. And now, recently, we've been getting a lot of questions about startups. What's happening in the startup scene in Stockholm? What companies are doing interesting things? Sometimes we get specific questions about very, very intricate startups doing very detailed things that we have to go out and look at. So we do a lot of matchmaking between journalists and the local community. So the more we know, the better we can guide people in who are sort of asking. And Stockholm has been getting a lot of attention recently. How many of you saw this one? A few of you. Okay, so Stockholm was recently ranked the #2 startup ecosystem in the world. So this is great PR for Stockholm, right? And leads to a lot of interest. And I think we get a lot of really well-deserved attention. So we've been featured in, as you've probably seen, in many of the main outlets. This is Financial Times. Writing a really good story about Stockholm factory. This is another one about 4 different words. So we provided input to a lot of these different articles, and we can interview some of them. And so I'd really like to know what you guys are doing, so we can tell those stories. So other things that we do is we do campaigns. We put together infographics. We put together a lot of materials. This is one thing that we've done. How many of you have seen this one? Not many. Good job. Now, this is one example. We call this the Stockholm Tech Home Screen. So this is basically used and loved all over the world and the place that they're from. So we've had this at the airport. We've taken this to a lot of events all over the world. And we said, when we show this on our phone, people use Skype, right? People use Spotify. Then we tell them that, hey, they're from Stockholm. So we create that personal connections of things that you use and love, use on a daily basis from Stockholm. So you have that sort of connection there. So then we go into details of all of these things. And, I can spend hours just going, like, just describing what all these apps do. We take up Ericsson, and there are over a couple thousand patents that even make a phone call possible. So a lot of technologies that people take for granted use every day are from Stockholm. So this is some examples of what we do with marketing. We also do what's called place branding. And this is to attract specifically tech talent for startups to Stockholm. Anyone seen this initiative that we've done here? Move to Stockholm. Move to Stockholm. Okay. not many, but go into Twitter. This is something that we do together with the community to attract talent to Stockholm. It's been quite successful, and we need that here. So, a lot of marketing, right? But development is also really, really important. When it comes to developing the tech ecosystem here, we look at this. This is the tech, a map of the tech ecosystem in Stockholm. And so we can add on this map. This is just a selection of a few things. But what you see here, you see different things, these different colors. And all of these complement each other. And this is what supports startups. This supports innovation. It supports the creation of new startups. It supports the growth of startups. We know that for a fact. So it's really important for us that we have a healthy ecosystem. So we've actually partnered with many of the things that you see on the map. So we asked the question, how can we help add new things to this map? That's why I added Stockholm.AI to this map now. So we have one more thing. So adding new things here is really important. And as you can see, there are a lot of things. But what's funny is none of these things existed just a few years ago. So 2012, no Sub 36, no Stockholm 10. And today we have all of these things, right? So we have a very mature and a very active community for startups. So we ask the question, what's next? What do we do now? How do we support the community? So we've started to do this. We've started to build a long list here of things to look at specific areas of the tech ecosystem, right? And we look at these specifically. I mean, this is just a few examples, in no particular order, but we ask the question, what does the ecosystem look like for each of these? What does the map look like for each of these, right? So to give you an example, we started with the first two, fintech and music tech. And this is an example of what we did with fintech. We mapped the entire fintech scene in Stockholm, together with the Stockholm School of Economics. And keep in mind, this might be something that we can do for AI. Right? We looked at every single fintech company that we could find. And there are over 100 of them. And they employ over 1,000 people. And they've raised way over $1 billion. So it's quite significant when you look at it. So we had all this data, and then we looked in Europe to compare how do we fare with other cities. And yes, London is the #1 leading fintech city in Europe, but Stockholm is #2. So this was quite surprising for us. And I think a lot of people outside of Stockholm, outside of Sweden, were also surprised to hear this. But this is really important to understand because when we got out with this data, all of a sudden, Stockholm became way more interesting for people working in fintech. So we've seen a huge interest, increase in interest, people coming here wanting to invest, wanting to engage with the fintech community, just by having this type of knowledge. All right, so maybe a long background, but this brings us to AI. What about AI, and what can we do here? And this is the reason why I'm here today, and this is why I thought it was so important to support Olaf and the team. Just to ask a question, what are you working on? Right? What are you working on that came to a team together? A lot of interest, a lot of people asking, can we collaborate somehow? What are the biggest challenges for what you're doing? Biggest challenges for AI type of technologies. What are they? And can the city support in the ecosystem? Another interesting question I think we should ask is, can AI be applied in the city? So I don't really know much about the technologies, but can machine learning and the things that we saw here before from Olaf, and the things that you're working on, can that be applied to make schools better? Or to improve healthcare? Or improve transportation? Things like that. The city's investing heavily now in becoming smart. Smart city, connecting things everywhere in the city, providing a lot of open data, working on providing real-time open data. Is that something that will be interesting to you? Can you use that? Can these technologies be applied in that context? These type of questions I'd love to explore. And then we come back to this question, how can Stockholm become a better place for AI companies? We'd really like to dig into this. with you because it is a very, very sort of topic that a lot of people are looking at. And I believe that Stockholm has a lot to offer there. All right, so I'd like to have this conversation with you, work with you, and make Stockholm better in this way. So thank you very much. Yes. These are my details. If you're interested, the easiest is go to our website. You can find the phone number and the email right there. Okay. Thanks.
Thanks so much, Joseph. So did everybody snap pictures of this if you want to reach out to Joseph? And then Joseph wrote just also actually a great article about what is going on in Stockholm. So it's kind of an overview on the list of like some of the interesting startups and companies doing AI right now. So if you artificial in Stockholm, I think it's like one of the top hits, at least if you Google it.